Someone literally got rich selling air. Not perfume, not oxygen tanks. Actual air, scooped from the English countryside, sealed in jars and sold online for hundreds of dollars each. Sounds like a joke, right? It wasn't. It was a business, a real one, with branding, marketing, and paying customers. But here's the twist. This isn't a story about stupidity. It's about how psychology, scarcity, and marketing combine to turn thin air into real money. Because while everyone laughed at the idea, one man quietly made over $100,000 selling something that doesn't even exist, at least not in the way you think. This is the story of how selling air became one of the dumbest, smartest, and most revealing money stories of the decade. Because here's the truth. In the modern economy, value isn't what you sell. It's what people believe they're buying. Chapter 1, the $100,000 idea that shouldn't exist. It started in 2015. A British entrepreneur noticed something strange online. People were paying money for bottled water from exotic places, Fiji, Iceland, the Alps. So he thought, if people will buy water, what about air? He launched a small brand called Ethair, promising pure British countryside air, captured and sealed in jars, then shipped to polluted cities across the world. Each jar sold for up to $115 US. And yes, people actually bought them. His early customers, mostly from China, where cities like Beijing were covered in thick smog, and clean air was a luxury. The pitch was simple: fresh, untouched English air. It was ridiculous, and yet it worked, because he wasn't selling oxygen. He was selling a feeling. The idea was so absurd that it went viral. The internet exploded with headlines. Man sells air to China, and it's working. Brit entrepreneur cashes in on pollution. And with every article, every meme, every laugh, more people clicked the link. Publicity became free advertising, and the joke became profit. In business, emotion beats logic every time. If your idea triggers curiosity or laughter, you already have free marketing. People don't share ads, they share stories. Think of when you post something funny or ironic online. People share it, not because it's serious, but because it feels interesting. The same goes for small businesses. Even if you're just selling coffee, tell a story that makes people smile or nod in recognition. Emotion gets attention, and attention drives income. But what really made this ridiculous idea profitable wasn't the product. It was the psychology behind it. Let's break that down. Chapter 2, the psychology of something for nothing. So why did anyone actually buy it? Humans don't buy rationally, we buy emotionally. When we're surrounded by scarcity, we'll pay for symbolism. In a smog-filled city, a jar of clean British air wasn't a product. It was hope in a bottle. The business tapped into status signaling. Owning one wasn't about breathing better. It was about feeling better. Being one of the few who could buy what others couldn't. Economists call this Veblen behavior. When something is useless but expensive, it becomes a symbol of luxury. The less practical it is, the more powerful it feels. Ironically, the company didn't need repeat customers. It just needed headlines. Because once something becomes a statement, it stops being a product and starts being a meme. And memes in the attention economy are money. In a world obsessed with image, people pay for perception. If your business helps someone feel important, even irrationally, it can outperform logic. Ever bought clothes with a logo you knew were overpriced just because it felt good to wear them? That's perception value. If you're a freelancer or a small brand, presentation matters just as much as product. Even simple packaging or confident design tells people, this is worth it. But what happens when the illusion starts to feel like the truth? That's where marketing outsmarts logic. Chapter 3, when marketing defeats logic. Every jar came with a certificate of authenticity, GPS coordinates of where the air was harvested, and even a hand-signed label. It was ridiculous and brilliant, because presentation is perception. He once said, "We don't sell air, we sell the experience of breathing somewhere else." And that line alone summed up modern marketing. We no longer buy objects, we buy stories. The same logic drives luxury brands, NFTs, and influencer culture. The price tag doesn't measure quality, it measures belief. Good marketing doesn't describe a product. It creates meaning around it. If you can define what your product represents, you'll never compete on price again. That's why Starbucks can sell a $6 coffee, because it sells comfort, community, and identity, not caffeine. The next time you sell something, even if it's your skills or time, frame it as a story, not a service. People buy feelings, not features. But there's another invisible force behind every dumb genius idea, and it's not psychology, it's economics. Chapter 4, the economics of attention. In economics, there's a concept called positional goods. These are items whose value depends on being rare or absurd, not useful. That's why designer bags, luxury watches, and NFTs all survive. They're signals, not solutions. The bottled air company weaponized that same principle. The dumber it sounded, the faster it spread. The faster it spread, the more credible it looked. Welcome to the attention economy, where being ridiculous is sometimes more profitable than being right. In business, attention is currency. If you can't be the best, be the most talked about. Because obscurity kills faster than failure. You see it on social media every day. Creators who go viral for weird or funny content often turn that attention into real income later. Don't wait for perfection. Put your ideas out there. Attention first, polish second. And yet, the selling air story didn't just expose consumer psychology. It also revealed how fragile our sense of value really is. Chapter 5, the finance of nothing. Here's where things get even more fascinating. Financially, this idea worked because it had no overhead, no raw materials, no supply chain, no manufacturing costs. It was almost pure profit, the dream of every entrepreneur. What he sold wasn't air, it was margin. He understood one of the golden rules of money. You don't get rich by selling more. You get rich by selling smarter. The entire operation showed that profit isn't about volume. It's about value creation per unit of belief. Financial success isn't about working harder. It's about creating value out of what others overlook. If you can sell what costs you nothing, you've mastered leverage. Think of digital products, templates, or online courses. Once you make them, they cost almost nothing to reproduce. Even a clever meme or design can earn while you sleep. Focus on assets that scale without extra effort. And that's what leads us to a deeper truth. The psychology of why people keep falling for ideas that shouldn't work but do. Chapter 6, the human loop, why we keep buying it. Every decade, we repeat the same pattern. From snake oil salesmen to NFTs, from bottled water to bottled air. It's all the same loop. Humans crave meaning. And when the world feels uncertain, we buy things that promise control. That's why people invest in fads, trends, or miracle cures. We're not buying products, we're buying comfort, identity, and belonging. And marketers know it. They don't sell what people need. They sell what people wish were true. Whether you're buying or selling, remember this. The most valuable currency isn't money, it's belief. If you can control belief, you can control value. Think about fitness trends. People buy the newest supplement or gadget because it gives hope of change, not because it works better. In your own life, look for where belief is costing you money or where you can ethically use it to inspire trust in your own business. But what happens when the world realizes that belief alone can't sustain value? That's when the empire starts to crack. Chapter 7, the fall and the irony. Eventually, the hype faded. The internet moved on, but the message stayed. Someone had made $100,000 by selling nothing. And that made the world stop laughing for a moment. Because maybe the joke wasn't on the seller, maybe it was on us. The entire event revealed a truth most entrepreneurs ignore. We live in a market that rewards spectacle more than substance. And unless you understand that, you'll always be the one buying the joke instead of selling it. The smartest people in business don't chase trends. They create them, often by making fun of the system while still profiting from it. Look at meme coins or viral products. People who join late lose, but those who understand hype cycles profit from timing. In your own work, don't chase what's trending. Create your own small trend in your niche. You might think the joke ends here, But in the world of dumb genius ideas, the punchline is usually just the start of a new market. Chapter 8. The aftermath of belief. What happened next? When the laughter stopped, something interesting happened. People started asking themselves, what else could be sold the same way? Entrepreneurs in China, Canada, and even the US began selling their own bottled air. Some copied Ether's idea completely. Others started selling mountain air, luxury wind, and even New Zealand breeze. It became a miniature trend, and suddenly selling air was no longer a punchline. It was a proof of concept. Even tourism boards got involved, marketing their countryside as the cleanest air you can breathe. And brands like Dyson began pushing their air purifiers using the same emotional pitch: purity, health, hope. The air business faded, but the marketing model stayed. The lesson was clear. Once you prove people will pay for belief, you've changed the market forever. In business, innovation often starts as imitation. The first to act looks crazy, but the next 10 look smart. Think of NFTs, fidget spinners, or even the ice bucket challenge. Ridiculous at first, but profitable for those who saw opportunity in the noise. But this story doesn't just show how people buy belief, it shows how industries evolve around it. Chapter 9, the industry of nothing, how air became a business model. Here's where it gets even more ironic. What began as a joke about selling air eventually turned into a blueprint for modern digital business. Today, influencers sell access, coaches sell mindset, gamers sell skins, and content creators sell attention. It's all intangible, yet all valuable. The same principle behind bottled air now drives billion-dollar industries built on non-physical value. From online courses to subscription models to AI-generated content, the real product isn't the thing itself. It's the perceived transformation it gives the buyer. The air jar became a symbol of the 21st century economy. You don't need to own resources, you just need to own narrative. Modern wealth isn't made from physical goods. It's made from scalable ideas. If you can sell belief repeatedly without extra cost, you're not just in business, you're in leverage. Think about Netflix, Spotify, or OnlyFans. They don't sell physical products, they sell access. And every month people pay again for something they can't touch. But let's go even deeper, because behind all this profit lies a subtle warning. Chapter 10, the danger of invisible value. Here's the paradox. When money chases meaning, and meaning becomes a product, everything starts to feel like marketing. Social media made us all brands. Every opinion became content. Every experience became a saleable moment. The line between authenticity and performance blurred. And that's where selling air stops being funny and starts being a metaphor for our whole economy. When everything becomes about attention, truth itself becomes a commodity. People don't ask, is this real? They ask, is it viral? That's the hidden cost of monetizing belief. Eventually, even the believers burn out. The most valuable thing in a world full of illusions is trust. Once you lose it, no amount of marketing can buy it back. Think of influencers caught faking giveaways or businesses overpromising AI miracles. They grow fast but crash faster. Trust, not virality, is the new currency. And that's why the story of selling air isn't just a business lesson. It's a mirror. Chapter 11, the moral takeaway. So what can we really learn from this? That sometimes the smartest lessons in finance don't come from billionaires. They come from the people who made money by accident. Here's the real message. In every economy, there's visible value and perceived value. The world pays far more for the second one. That means your ideas, your skills, and your story can be more profitable than your product if you frame them right. Because selling air wasn't a scam. It was satire that turned into profit. And that satire still applies to us today. Every day we buy air in different forms. When we pay extra for brand names, when we chase social media clout, when we invest in things we don't understand because they're trending, we're all buying a piece of belief. But here's the good news. Once you understand that, you can flip it. You can build smarter businesses, make smarter money moves, and see through the noise. You don't have to sell air, you just have to stop buying illusions. And that's the real genius behind every dumb money story. It exposes the truth we'd rather ignore, that people don't just buy what's useful, they buy what gives meaning. So the next time you see someone selling something absurd, maybe it's not stupidity, maybe it's foresight. Because the people who see humor in chaos often understand it best. They're not laughing at the system, they're playing it. And the lesson for us? Study them. Don't mock them. Because behind every dumb business is a psychological blueprint for how belief becomes value and how value becomes wealth. The next time something seems dumb but works, study it. Because behind every dumb money story is a genius lesson about how the world really works. If you ever feel like your idea is too simple or too weird, remember, someone sold air and made 6 figures. Start, even if it's small, funny, or uncertain. In a world full of noise, authenticity, and timing can turn almost anything into opportunity. And maybe, just maybe, the line between foolish and visionary is thinner than air. In a world obsessed with hype, this story reminds us that even nothing can be monetized if you understand psychology, timing, and attention. Because money doesn't just follow logic, it follows emotion, status, and curiosity. And if you can tap into that, you can turn almost any idea, no matter how dumb it sounds, into profit. So if you want to see more unbelievable stories of people who got rich in the strangest, smartest ways, you're in the right place. Here at Dumb Money Genius, we break down the psychology, behavior, and business behind the world's weirdest success stories, so you can understand how belief becomes money and how to spot the patterns before everyone else. If this story made you think differently about money, hit that like button, drop a comment with your favorite part, and make sure to subscribe, because the next story might just be dumber and smarter. Because here at Dumb Money Genius, we prove one thing. Sometimes the smartest truths in money come from the dumbest ideas that somehow worked. Every Dumb Money Genius story leaves you smarter than before. Dumb Money Genius, smart minds, dumb ideas, real lessons.